French numbers aren't random. They're just badly explained. Bonjour, j'espère que vous allez bien. Aujourd'hui, on va enfin comprendre la logique des nombres en français. C'est parti! If French numbers confuse you, it's not because you're bad at French. It's because you were taught to memorize lists instead of understanding how French actually works. In this video, I'll show you the logic behind French numbers, so you can stop guessing and start understanding. Let's start with numbers from 0 to 10. People think this part is easy, but there are a few traps for English speakers. Let's take 8. It starts with an H, right? But you don't pronounce it. There is no H sound at all. You don't say huit. You just say 8. Now, let's look at this. Yes, you heard right. I didn't pronounce the X sound. The letter X looks strong, but it's not pronounced like in English. You don't pronounce it like in English. You say this, almost like there is an S sound at the end. Actually, there is an S sound when you pronounce it. This is something important to remember. In French, spelling doesn't always tell you how a word is pronounced. Once you accept that, pronunciation becomes much easier. Now, repeat with me at a natural speed. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Good job! Now, from 11 to 16, French numbers are irregular. That means there is no logic to analyze here. You don't try to understand them, you just simply accept them. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Remember these numbers. Keep them in mind. We'll come back to them later. And they'll make a lot more sense. Now, something interesting happens. 17 is 17, literally 10 plus 7. 18 is 18, 19 is 19. This is where French stops inventing new words and starts building numbers. Now, pay attention to the pronunciation. In 17, you don't really hear the X sound. It sounds like 17, almost as if we dropped the X sound. Actually, we did it. But in 18, it's different. You hear a connection, right? 18. This is called a liaison. It doesn't happen everywhere, only in specific cases. Just notice it for now. We'll see it again later. From 20 to 69, French numbers are very logical. 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. They all follow the same structure. Now, something important. When the number ends with 1, French adds "et", like in 21. That's why we say 21. Did you hear that? I didn't say 21. I made a connection. We talked about that earlier. To make pronunciation easier, French uses liaison. Let's see. 21, 31, 41, 51, 61. Now, let's say the numbers from 20 to 69 at a normal speed. 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39. 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49. 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, 60. Now, let's see here. 61. You see? First, we didn't pronounce the X sound. It sounded like X was an S, like in this. Remember? 61. Here, it's the last time you will hear A between the number and 1. 61. So, let's keep on counting. 62, 63, 64, 65, 66, 67, 68, 69. Good job! Now, don't go anywhere. This is the tricky part and the most interesting one as well. Pay attention here. 70 is not a new word in French. It's 70. 60 plus 10 literally. Now, remember the irregular numbers we talked about earlier. This is where they come back. 71 is 71 because it's 60 plus 11, not 60 plus 1. 80 is even more surprising. 80, literally 4 times 20. Did you notice? I didn't say 80, but I pronounce each syllable. 80. 90 is 90. Literally 4 times 20 plus 10. Yeah, French numbers don't follow English logic. They follow French logic, right? Now, let's count from 70 to 99. No rush. No rush. 70, 71, 72, 73, 74, 75, 76, 77, 78, 79. 80. Not here. 81. Not 81. You see? So, 80, 81, 82, 83, 84, 85, 86, 87, 88, 89, 90, 91, 92, 93, 94, 95, 96, 97, 98, 99, and 100. You did it. Very good job. Now, let's go beyond 100. After 100, nothing new happens actually. 100 in French is 100. 101 is 101. 200 is 200. 217 is 217. 1000 is 1000. 1267 is 1267. Once you understand the structure, you can say any numbers. You see? You don't memorize, you build. Now, let's recap everything. Let's go further. I know we didn't really see this part in detail, but if you understand the logic, you can figure it out. How do you say 15,000 in French? Pause the video if you need to. Take a moment. Think about it. I trust you. Yes, that's it. 15,000. Well done. Now, let's go even further. How do you say 15,392? Pause again. Think. Write it down if it helps. Yes. You've got it. 15,392. Notice what suggested. You didn't memorize a number. You built it. Very good job. If you got it right, let me know in the comments and tell me what you'd like to learn next, what you want to focus on first. You don't need to memorize French, you need to understand how French works. In the next video, I'll show you the most common mistakes English speakers make in French and how to avoid them naturally. Voilà, c'est tout pour aujourd'hui. À très bientôt dans la prochaine vidéo. D'ici là, portez-vous bien.